congratulations for the Philadelphia Eagles winning their first Super Bowl title. So props to them. Obviously, Philly has been there multiple times before. They just haven't done it. And the fact that they come off on top against the team that beat them in the prior Super Bowl that they were in, I mean, props to them. And Doug Peterson had a very well coached game. He used a lot of bootleg, which is definitely something that the Patriots struggle with all year. He threw the ball deep, something that the Patriots obviously usually always struggle against. And they really did a good job. And for the majority of the game, they actually didn't get pressure at break. They just got pressure when it matters. And that was definitely why the Philadelphia Eagles won this game right here. And I think definitely what plays a big role was, and all these Super Bowl teams, it's a team effort. You can look at across of many performances, tons of performances across the league or across the game where, like, obviously LeGarrette Blount had a big run. Zach Ertz got that touchdown catch, which he almost dropped, but he got it. Alshon Jeffrey. You're talking about Nick Foles right here. You're talking about Jason Kelsey and all of that. Brandon Graham, like Malcolm Jenkins, like even hurting Brandon Cooks. I mean, I think that helped a little bit. And I think that's definitely what it is. And I think when it comes to refereeing, it was a completely fair game, I thought, when it comes to the refereeing and whatnot. It was a well-fought game, and I definitely thought that the Eagles definitely deserve a chance. Like, this is what I hate about the national media. And I think if you look at Belichick, this is probably the reason why they hate him, is because they always stack the odds against whoever faces the Patriots. Well, at least ever since the Patriots have beaten Seattle in the Super Bowl, ever since then, they have basically, the media has been basically sucking their dicks. And Bill Belichick probably doesn't want that getting to the players' heads and their egos. And it kind of did here. It really, really did. And when it comes to Belichick and all of that, it just didn't feel like the locker room felt united, obviously, with the Seth Wickersham article and whatnot about the Patriots kind of going up against that. Yeah, that's pretty well, controversial right there between Brady and Belichick and whatnot, with the whole Jimmy Garoppolo trade. And then, obviously, the Patriots have been beat up. I mean, they didn't have Julian Edelman, and they didn't have Dante Hightower. So, obviously, they had some injuries right here, and they just couldn't recover from that. I mean, injuries ain't an excuse. I mean, the Eagles don't have freaking Carson Wentz, so it's a big game. And I think one thing for sure is when you look at Bill Belichick, this was not a great year for Belichick. Sure, the Seth Wickersham article definitely did clear some light out, but I didn't think Bill Belichick had a fantastic coaching year. I mean, if you look at Stephon Gilmore, Stephon Gilmore did play well in the Super Bowl and did play well in the AFC Conference game. However, though, for the majority of the season, he's obviously been not that good. And when it comes to the zone, when it comes to the signings or the trades of Brandon Cooks was definitely a quality receiver, but he wasn't electrifying at all. And when it came to Mike Gillislee, he thought that was an upgrade from LeGarrette Blount. Barely saw any action from him. David Harris did absolutely nothing and all that. They also signed Kenny Britt in the midseason. Didn't really do much. Dwayne Allen really didn't do much. You can look across the board at their acquisitions. If you look at it, maybe James Harrison and Brandon Cooks were their two best acquisitions. I mean, that's a big deal right there. And it just wasn't great. I mean, they traded Jacoby Brissett for Philip Dorsett. I mean, Philip Dorsett had like one catch against the Jaguars. That was significant. Alrighty then. I guess that's definitely worth it. But Jacoby Brissett could have been the future. And Jimmy Garoppolo, who knows who the second-round pick could be and all that. And Kirk Coleman, he traded Kirk Coleman to the Seahawks for Casey Barch to be cut. Coleman did some stuff. I think he got a pick six for the Seattle Seahawks. So wasn't a great year as a GM for Bill Belichick. And when it comes to the calls, I think the only notorious calls was the one against on the kicking unit. Obviously, they did not kick it in the end zone, and obviously when D.L. Lewis returned it, I mean, he didn't have much of a chance, but doing it the Rex Burkhead really, really killed their chances. It's a gamble, it's a chance, and all of that. So I think definitely one thing to look at is the differences between Doug Peterson and Doug Marrone. Both Dougs right here, am I right? But one thing for sure about it is that Doug Peterson was far more aggressive than than Doug Marrone. Doug Marrone was too passive in the game. Doug Peterson was aggressive. So when you put that together, it's definitely a good matchup right there. And I guess you just got to play aggressive against the Patriots. I think that's definitely one thing for sure he did. I think Doug Marrone shied away. Doug Peterson stood his ground, and props to Doug Peterson right there. And he read coaching tree, too. Doug Peterson ends up winning Super Bowl, not Andy Reid. A little bit surprising, a little bit. Usually, the head coach would eventually win one. Not usually the pupil doesn't win first, but Hey, props to Doug Peterson right there. Now, when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, great general manager. Obviously, Chris Long made an impact. LeGarrette Blount wasn't super effective, but hey, he's a three-time Super Bowl champion, so you can't really argue with that. Obviously, they made some trades, got rid of Jordan Matthews, who I like, but got rid of him, got some cornerback depth right here. That was just good enough to win the Super Bowl right here, because you really don't need an elite cornerback right there. And they got a quality safety in Malcolm Jenkins right there. So obviously, it's definitely complete. And the fact that they could have Carson Wentz next year. And they didn't have Darren Sproles either, who's a big playmaker right there. But obviously, I think his name's Booker, I want to say. But he's definitely made a good impact. So overall, when it comes to this game, this was an entertaining football game. And obviously, when it comes to this all, is Brady going to retire? Probably not. I feel like I didn't really think he was going to retire, especially with the fact with the whole Jimmy Garoppolo situation. I think Brady's definitely going to stay for one more year. I definitely think Bill Belichick wants to win another Super Bowl with something right here. I mean, it's still a good roster to win a Super Bowl with, don't get me wrong. And also, I definitely think one thing for sure is I think Josh McDaniels and Matt Patricia leaving, interviewing with jobs, they might be thinking about putting other positions right there. And then you look at Malcolm Butler. Malcolm Butler has only played special teams. For some reason, he was just crying on the sideline before. Did he lose a family member or something like that? And if he did, it would be almost like sometimes when players lose family members, maybe they play better. Like Brett Favre did in 2003 on that Monday Night Football. So that's an interesting coaching choice. So Bill Belichick, obviously, I never really had a problem with any of his coaching decisions all year round. But in the Super Bowl, benching Malcolm Butler and really only using up special teams, and maybe that return or that little end around play on the kickoff. Other than that, though, obviously he's still a quality coach, but they are going to lose Josh McDaniels. They are going to use Matt Patricia and whatnot. Obviously, that's definitely going to be a huge adjustment for them. But props to the Eagles. Maybe the Eagles be a dynasty. Now, here's a question I want. Who would you guys, if you're the Philadelphia Eagles personnel guy, who would you rather have, Nick Foles and Carson Wentz, and which one would you trade? To be honest, I want to go with both, but let me guys know what you comment down below. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.